Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to our channel. Today I want to do a little video on the world's economy, especially ours in America. I did take a lot of notes here, something that there's no way I could memorize everything that I looked up, so I did write it down. I'm going to do a little Marlon Brando improvisation here and read everything and put in a few of my own side notes here. But this here is a $1 bill made of 25% linen, 75% cotton. So it makes it so tough. Still considered paper money. And it's only worth $1 because our government declares it's worth $1. To be honest with you, I think it's worth nothing. But it's worth $1. Now this here is a quarter. Now this quarter has copper and it has nickel. This copper and nickel, it's an industrial metal, which basically makes this quarter worth more than this $1, just for the metal that's in this. And when it comes to coins and currency, things like that, the government spends a lot of money just producing coins and bills. It costs 3 cents to make a penny, and it costs 11 cents to make a nickel. Crazy. So for every nickel, it costs the taxpayer money 11 cents. And it costs 9 cents just to make one note of $1. Anywho, that's some cool information there. So I want to get down to the nitty of the gritty here when it comes to world currency, especially ours. At this moment, America's debt clock is at $34.5 trillion. So that's what basically we're in debt, $34.5 trillion. We produce $1 trillion every 100 days. So by the end of the year, our debt's going to be about $38 trillion. It's crazy. It's just going to keep rolling and rolling and snowballing into just who knows where. I mean, by the time we hit 2026, we could be $50 trillion in debt. And who knows where we're going to be by then when it comes to the American economy. So, a little history lesson. In 1923, Germany's hyperinflation caused the exchange rate between the dollar and the mark to be 1 trillion marks to the US dollar. So basically, a wheelbarrow full of German marks back then wouldn't even buy you a newspaper, let alone a loaf of bread. That's crazy. So basically, the German mark was worth nothing. 2016, Venezuela entered hyperinflation, making them the 57th country to be added to the world hyperinflation table. By 2019, Venezuela's economy collapsed. Now they use whatever they can, US dollars or Bitcoin. They can obtain some use of precious metals if they can get it. They also barter for goods and services. So they do have a barter system down there just for goods and services. The closest America has come to hyperinflation is when inflation peaked close to 30% during the Revolutionary War in 1778. So supposedly we almost hit hyperinflation in 1778. But the big question is this: is America in hyperinflation today? Now, here's the definition of hyperinflation: it's an oversupply of paper currency without a corresponding rise in the production of goods and services. Example: we do not produce anymore, we consume. It's not a very good place to be in. And due to past and present government stimulus behavior, I believe that we are entering hyperinflation. And the government will always fudge numbers and proclaim that things are better than what we are seeing it as. In other words, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? Just about every country in the world is in debt. Scary. And this year alone, the American household debt is $17.5 trillion, and 1.3 trillion of those dollars are credit card debt. That is an astronomical amount of debt that the American household holds. And it's sad that we are actually in that position. How long are we going to be able to live like that? It's, who knows? It's scary. We talk about, um, you know, a EMP, causing outages, cyber attacks causing outages, um, world wars, things like that. But nobody really discusses an actual economic collapse, which basically I feel that we're in. The economic collapse is going to be total chaos. And I really believe that when it comes to the government starting to tighten up certain spending, it's gonna be a total disaster, and there is gonna be mayhem throughout the United States. I believe that they'll probably start with EBT cards. The American government spends about $2 billion a year just on EBT cards. I'm not sure how much you get from EBT cards. It's maybe it's like 400, 800 bucks a month. I'm not sure. But if the government wants to start saving some money, well, look like that they're saving some money, they're probably going to start with that. And all they have to do is just cut the EBT card amount in half. So, which will be a big surprise to a lot of people, because there is a lot of people that depend on those EBT cards. And the thing is, you think you're going to go into the grocery store with $400 on an EBT card, and you only have 200. Think of the chaos that's going to ensue when people find out that that they're that the amount of their EBT cards have been cut in half. And not only that, when it comes to banks, when that kind of stuff happens, when the government starts tightening tightening up on things, the banks get involved also, because pretty much the government controls the banks. And so when, for example, there was a time I went to the bank, I think it was about 2 years ago. I went to the bank. I wanted to withdraw $3,000. I'm part of a local credit union. And when I asked for the $3,000, the teller explained to me that I can only take out $1,500 per day. And so I was kind of caught by surprise, because I was like, but it's my money. How come I can't take out $3,000? She was like, that's the rule. $1,500 a day. So I'll give you $1,500. And before she gave me the $1,500, she went through this whole list with me. Now we've been part of this bank for 20 years. So she asked me where I worked, if I still lived at the same address, if I still had the same phone number. It was the first time ever when I withdrew some money that I had to be asked all these questions. So it was really strange. So if the bank decides to go on a holiday because there's going to be a bank run, because the government starts tightening up on things, it's going to be crazy. So basically, make sure that you have some sort of cash at home. Be your own bank. Uh, because when you deposit your money in the bank, it's not your money anymore. It's the bank's money. And they can do whatever they want with it. So when it comes to digital currency also, is that it won't just be the banks that control how you spend or what you withdraw or what you deposit, things like that. Now with digital currency, the government's involved. And so now they will be able to pick and choose what you can buy, what you can't buy, things like that, how much you can make, how much they want you to spend within a certain amount of months, how much you can't spend, things like that. It's going to get crazy. So um, just be aware that there's a thing called BRICS, and it's BRICS, and that's the acronym. And it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And it's basically led by China and Russia. And they are moving ahead with their efforts to move away from the US dollar, with an announcement that they plan to create a payment system based on blockchain. So they are enticing other countries to join them to get off the US dollar. And to be honest with you, I really think the US wants to get off the US dollar too. They want to make this a one world currency, a one world government, and they are heading in that direction. And so that's a whole nother video, that's a whole nother story. You could talk hours on that also. But I just want to do this video because it's really important that we understand that there could be an economic collapse before there's anything else that could happen to us. Like I said, cyber attacks, things like that. I mean, cyber attack could be part of a economic collapse also. You know, they did the AT&T, they did the pharmacies, some pharmacies, they did the Facebook thing with the Instagram, and there's no stopping them from hacking into bank accounts and just erasing some numbers, and that could very well happen. So there's a couple scriptures I want to read, and one scripture is Proverbs 22:7, and it says the borrower is slave to the lender. So basically, it's saying anybody who is in debt is a slave to the lender. It's not a good position to be in. Romans 13:8, keep out of debt and owe no man anything except love for one another. Do your best just to pay off those credit cards, pay off your car note, things like that. That way you don't owe companies, the government, or anybody. You got to be your own store, your own bank, your own pharmacy. You got to be everything for your household, pretty much. And there's a great saying here that silver and gold is true money, and currency, paper money, is debt. Gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of gentlemen, and debt is the money of slaves. Do whatever you can to get out of debt. So 2024 is going to be a wild roller coaster ride that's probably not going to stop for us to get off that ride. It's definitely starting this month. Super Tuesday happened yesterday. Chaos is going to ensue. This is the beginning of woes for 2024. Make sure you got your mind right, get your grind right. That's all you can do. Make sure that you're set for any type of disaster, for economic collapse, for an energy collapse, for a war on our homeland and abroad. Just make sure you're prepared for whatever. And that's all we can do is be prepared and pray. I really appreciate you watching. Give a like and a subscribe. Share this video. Appreciate it. Peace out.